welcome to our channel. We are the Gracenotesstitchers. I'm Corinne.
I'm Colleen, and this is Flosstube number 28, and today is Thursday, February the 18th.
She's going to try to keep us on track. So we've been kind of busy this week. Mostly school, mostly work, but a few stitching projects. I think I see some finishes over there.
Not a but anyway, long overdue. We painted our nails.
Leanne was painting our nails today, and what did she say? Oh, she's like, I don't get paid enough for this.
And then she said her other sisters should say, you don't get paid at all.
Mm-hmm. And she offered to paint her nails, and she was like, no, I don't need it. But yeah, anyway.
Okay.
What do you want to start with?
Well, welcome to our channel. Thanks if you are new, and if you are returning, thank you for joining us again.
We have a lot of subscribers. We've been jumping. We're not sure where or why. We're so happy to have you. And we do comment, like we answer back any comments. So if you have questions ever, please feel free to answer. We love talking. I love talking.
Yeah.
But we don't know where you came from. So we're like, wait, where are these people coming from? Because just this week, I don't know, 20 people? Almost every day we're getting like 5 subscribers. And I know this sounds totally nerdy and totally crazy, but when we get a few more, I screenshot, and when we get a round number, every 5, I screenshot it and I send it to my husband and to my son. And my son is 20. His best friend actually has his own YouTube channel. It's about test driving trucks and cars and stuff. It's got millions of subscribers. So this guy's making money off of YouTube. So anyway, my son thinks we're going to be like that. And I'm like, it's so funny. And my husband's still like, your videos are too long. And, you know, we explained to him why. And then he totally gets it now that he's watched a few other people with us. He also leaves. But, you know, it's a totally different thing. Like we're not in it for the views. We're not in it for the money. Obviously, you know, we're not making money. You have to have tons of subscribers for that. But we're in it for the love of cross stitching. Mm-hmm. We love sharing what we're doing. If I can teach something new, I love to teach something new. But we're curious where some of you might have come from. Not that we care, but it's interesting, and we want to make sure we give back to the people who have mentioned us, because there's Flosstubers that I watch that have no idea who we are.
Right.
I mean, Teresa Little Stitcher, like she's 12,000 subscribers. So even if we make a comment, I don't think she's going to read every single comment. Or if we say the same thing other people say, she's not answering every single one because she's already answered those questions, especially since we're kind of binge watching her. We are current for this year and the end of last year, and now we're going back and watching from 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. So we are finally into 2016 with her now. Yeah. And we're having so much fun watching her, but you know, she doesn't know that we mentioned her. But anyway, it's kind of cool. Anything else before I talk about the other Flosstubers that we've been watching? No. Okay. So Kia B and Tech Guy are back. They took a month break, and I missed watching them. I was really excited to see their new video. And I even made a comment that it's because of them. She only stitches on high counts now, and that I am stitching with 40 count on my Make It Pink Cinderella. So it's kind of cool. And with Teresa, I'm just curious. You guys may have the answer to this. She's been doing what's called tag videos, and she calls them Teresa tags. So my guess is that this is something that she came up with. But she asks questions and she answers them on her video, and then other people on Flosstube would do their tags with the same questions that she had asked. And it was a way of getting to know each other. And I don't know if everybody has stopped with the tags or if that was just something she had done. I don't know. It was neat. Some of the things, like one of her questions was one of her craziest.
One of her craziest moments in cross stitching in the past year, and it was when she was beating on the train.
Yeah, that was fun. So I don't want to spoil it, but watch some old ones of Teresa. It's hilarious. And Hannah Dowling was back with some updates, and I even made a comment on her video. My husband goes, "You've already watched this one." He says it every time she pulls up her wedding piece because he recognizes her face. And he's like, "You've already watched this one." I'm like, came out 3 hours ago, hon. We didn't watch this.
Right.
She's giving us updates on her project. Oh. You know, what did he say?
He was saying stuff about he's not, I don't think he was talking about himself. He's like, there'd be a channel and it's just one project. You have that finished before you can start anything else. So.
He goes, nobody would like my project or my channel because it would be one project and you're not allowed to. So he said, I know some people are doing no new starts 2021. He goes, it's called no new starts ever until you finish what you have. I'm like, you're boring. So, and you know, he can be a little strong sometimes, but the hilarious thing is he helped me pick new patterns.
Right.
And he's like, did you start it yet? So he's such a strange, I don't know. And he's going to watch this and hear exactly what I say. So I don't say anything that he can't hear. Except, you know, the surprise. But I didn't work on that this week. Pam's Crafty Corner.
Yes.
I had watched half of one and I don't know. Colleen's been staying up late every night now. So I have no alone time to watch things that she's not going to watch. So I've been waiting for Flosstube now till Lauren goes to bed. And then we watch Flosstube together at night. But Lauren's watching things that she wants me to watch with her, so I can't put my headphones in. So I had started Pam's Crafty Corner when they were watching something. Oh, not Mandalorian, but that
Clone Wars or Rebels?
Rebels. And, you know, having that going on at the same time with my headphones, it didn't catch me. So last night I said to Colleen, can we watch Pam's Crafty Corner, Coffee, Crime, and Crafts? And she had just put out a new one on Lizzie Borden. So what it is, Pam does this research on true crime. And she does her own research, not just one book. And she looks things up. And then she stitches. It's kind of like a Stitch with Me. And she just stitches and talks.
And tells a story.
Yeah. And she's a very interesting storyteller. And we very much enjoyed it. And my youngest, Lauren, had already asked me if she could read some true crime novels. And I think she would enjoy watching this with us. Because she did put up a few like crime scene videos and court video or photos. Right. She would insert photos that she had come across in her research. So I think Lauren would really like to watch it with us. It was what, 40 minutes?
An hour.
It was an hour. But it flew. So I think she has 10 episodes. So when Leanne goes to bed, because, you know, we can't watch Smallville without Leanne.
Which we're on season 8 out of 10, so we're almost done with that.
Yeah. So Lauren always wants to stay up a little later. So last night we watched Teresa and Lauren read a book. So I think tonight we're going to see if Lauren wants to watch a true crime. Coffee, Crimes, and Crafts. So that's kind of catching you up. And we're caught up on Flosstube with the current. And then we're just picking one person and going back and kind of binging them. And then we'll see. We'll go back. And so we, you know, caught some other people's new. We try to always make comments so that you guys know what's going on with us. And anyway, so if you all have your own channel, you know, post it below. We'll try to catch up with you. Anything before we get into our projects?
I wrote down in here that it was currently snowing, but it still stopped.
Yeah, it did stop. So, can I tell another story?
Good.
So, I was actually Zooming with Ashley Halsey, who has her own channel. And we were just chatting. I was helping her figure something out with her stitching. And my husband comes down. I'm like, you're going to work? And he said, yeah. He goes out. And 10 minutes later, my youngest was at the door. And she said, why is Dad's car in the driveway? Like, he left. And she said, no, he's in the car and his car is running. So Ashley said, do you think he had car trouble? And I was like, no, because his car is running. I said, you know what? I bet he's on the phone with his boss. He's calling in saying I can't get there. And he did try. So when he came in, he said the bypass was not even plowed yet. So he could not get there. And this was already, what, 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Oh, yeah.
Or 12:30, something like that. So he came in, you know, he had told his boss, his district manager, my husband is the boss of his store. But anyway, he said, I can't get there. And then he came in, unpacked his lunch, sat at the table, ate it. And while he's eating, he gets a call from the mall saying, we're closing. So, and they were closing at 2 and he wouldn't have even been there yet.
So in his lunch, he has a vitamin water. And he just, because, like, I make the sandwich, Leanne makes the coffee, Lauren makes gather
She
sort of stuff.
combines.
And then she puts all the stuff in once after I've made the sandwich things. But like when he comes home, she just takes the vine water, sticks it back in the fridge. And, like if he doesn't drink it, but he just likes to make fun of that.
Yeah. She's like, you can't drink it if you're not at work.
So he's just like, he opened it up and then
oh yeah,
and looked at it. He's like, look,
yeah, he likes to tease the girls. All right, so you want to start with yours or mine?
How many do you have?
2, actually 3.
I can do mine, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Well, I've not gotten my goal in yet for the. This was called for Whitco. It's called the Governor's Palace, but I believe I got a good amount of progress done. I can't wait to be done working on that. Like once I reach my goal, because I'm not a huge fan of working on that.
That one is a lot of blended threads.
Just on that.
Okay, that's it.
But there's 3 colors in the tree. So it's gonna be combined. Like I can't tell you individually how many stitches I got on this in this past week. So in all of my stitching, I got 1,726 stitches.
This is Christmas blank, 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 blank,
I
blank.
call it Christmas the Child. Well, on Flosstube, that's what I call it, but I have a different name. But yep, Christmas
We
the
use the
Child.
child's actual name.
That, and it's actually coming along. I am 7.5%.
Isn't that amazing? What is that, like a little over a week and a half?
I started on the 5th, so 2
10
weeks.
days.
10 days. So
Oh,
yeah,
no, I guess it is 2 weeks.
Yeah. 7.5% done, and I just started on using 310 black. Yeah, 3 colors in, and I'm almost 10% done with it. Okay, so, well, this was going to be a plan to work on, but I did get like 10 stitches in. So again,
Is this today's project?
yep, this is today's project.
Is this in your workflow board?
No, oh, I just picked it up. I'm gonna show it from afar because I just named it Fat Cat with Shells because it's a piece of printed paper, and on the back I have the key of the stuff. So it's just this cat. But, you know, Fat Cat, Shells.
You think it came out the same thing as my D for dog?
Did it?
I don't know. We'll have to
I
look
don't
later.
know. Okay, so this is web 2. This is for my friend for her birthday. But she
I
shares
keep
her,
putting the board down.
she shares her birthday with my grandmother. So I didn't really get her a Christmas present or anything. So it is Christmas themed because it's a Christmas stocking. So hopefully, like all I have, so I'm calling that an AFO because it's almost finished object. Because all I have left is the back stitching and then fully finishing it. But I hope she likes it.
Very nice. All right, so I will pull this out of my bag first. I have Anne Green Gables from Soda Stitch. I got my 1,000 in for Whipco. So all my Whipco goals are made for the month. I'm very, very happy to hear that, or be pleased with that.
And this is so cute.
It is, and I hated this back in May. And I think I am just not a fan of linen, regular linen, not even weave. And when you only get 1 or 2 colors in. I think it's boring, and because I do a little bit of cross-country-ish, all I got in before was the green. So I thought all of this, and once I started working on Diana Berry, Anne's best friend, I really started enjoying this. So it's going away. I don't know when it'll come back out, but I showed you this from Etsy before. I just have to brag and show you this because this is now my Soda Stitch floss holder. Okay, so people ask, how do you keep the, today on Zoom, Ashley said, how do people keep straight all the floss for all their projects? Well, so this is my project bag that I have. So all my flosses are just thrown in there. Because this was never planned to be something I was working on regularly. I use bobbin boxes, and I'll show you that in a minute. So anyway, I bobbinate when I'm using, but instead of wrapping it all back up, I decided the piece that I cut is going to go in here. There is something so cool about the Soda Stitch. Yeah, most of the directions are not in English. There's some English on here, but it's a pattern. And they have the DMC, they have Anchor, and they have Venus. Not sure what Venus is. But they have numbers in order with... So, this is a 30 floss holder. It holds 30 colors. this has 26 colors. So the corresponding number I took and put on this. I never planned that. I didn't know what I wanted this for. Well, I do. Can I tell what I wanted this for? I really wanted, I mean, this thing was what, $20 plus shipping. I wanted it to see if my husband could make me more. I was like, I want to learn to make these things because I want a lot of them. And unicorns, of course, are my thing. I will never make this because it's delicate, it's intricate, it's beautiful, so it was definitely worth the money. But since I am only working on one soda stitch at a time,
Right.
this will stay in my soda stitch bag. Oh my gosh. So I sent my Leanne down here to get the bag. I was in the middle of doing something and she's like, where? I said, Anna Green Gables project. I said, everything's alphabetical. Here's, I guess, left to right. So here's Colleen's, here's mine, and then here's my new things. And to be honest, my new things are alphabetically backwards. I don't have those flosses inventoried, so I'm keeping this separate until I do.
So I have a story off of that one.
Okay. So, you know, she's like, she can't find it in any of the A's. She's like, Mom, there's 3 sets of A's, and I couldn't find it. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I don't know who said, could it be under Green Gables? No, I would not have done that. And then just light bulb moment, soda stitch. I have it labeled soda stitch. I came right down, found it immediately.
Is that really? I think. And that's cool because then you can just use
Well, that was the plan. I just forgot.
I don't know. I think it was the day you went for the sweetheart banquet. That I was for my Christmas project. I was running out of 939. And I checked my stash. That was my only color. That was my only thing. So she told me what project to take it out of, and then I returned it. Although I took the one of her bob, and so I took off some cut and then gave her what was left. But then she's like, I had just a bunch of just unbobbinated ones.
I have like 10 skeins of it.
When I found that bag, I'm pretty sure saw that bag in there. So it was the.
Oh yeah, it wasn't down there anyway.
It was right behind her when she was in her chair. So.
Yeah, I had brought it up because it was on with her this week. I really do have a bad memory. So when I say I have a bad memory, and I know I'm not alone, so I appreciate you ladies and gents who go, I'm just that way. We are getting older, and you just kind of have to expect, you know, we're making new memories, and our minds are a sieve, and things slip out of it.
Show you.
Yes, I'm still showing whips. So again, now this one I did bobbinate all the way. This is my Cinderella stitch along. So again, I have them all bobbinated in there. These are my fancy, what are they called? Étoile. No, light effects.
Light effects.
These are actually the light effects. The Étoile is the cottony with the metallic through it. I used an Animal Almanac. This is pure metallics, but they call them light effects. So this is my stitch along. So I threw those in there because I don't want to wind them until I need them. And I still haven't decided. My old light effects, I did wind. Not sure if I'm doing that. And then, of course, I have my sequins in there. And I didn't put the beads in yet.
Is that what it is?
Ah, this is my Cinderella stitch along. This is from the Cross Stitcher magazine. I'm seriously trying to get my husband to let me get a subscription for my birthday. And if you're wondering why I'm asking him, it's because it's English dollars, it's American dollars, it's translating to be like $135. So that's not something I'm just going to do without talking it through because it's a hard decision to make. I don't just spend that kind of money. So all of this is pretty much new. And my goal was starting it and putting in 500 stitches, and I am well over 1,000. I'm very pleased. I did import it into Pattern Keeper so that it'll keep track of my stitches using the JPEG photo import. And it's nice, but it is blurry. That's why I really want the subscription, because I know I'm going to continue to do their stitch alongs. And through Redley, you can get a 2 months free for Redley to get all the magazines. So I went into World of Cross Stitching. I went into Cross Stitch Gold, which is now called 365 Cross Stitch or Cross Stitch 365. And there's one more British one. I can't think of it. I used to buy them once in a while. I don't like them. I mean, I like some of the patterns, but when you're looking at older issues, when I look at the Cross Stitcher magazine, I love them. There's just patterns in there that I really like. You pulled one out that you liked. that we were going to do digitally. You said you would make it. It was a tea one, I think. We haven't printed it or anything for you.
Okay.
But my Brew Can Do It came from there. There's some shoes that I'm going to throw on my shoe afghan. I think I'll like them better than the old-fashioned shoes. And that's an indoor edition. So, yeah, there's just a lot that I really, really like about that magazine. And I will be honest, I've not read any of the articles, really. Because it's digital. I have a hard time reading digital. And I think if I had the magazine in my hand, I'd read cover to cover. Then I have all kinds of good stuff to share with you. All right. Mulan. Mulan has gotten 2,000 stitches this week. She's getting my love. So, pulling out of the groups has been a blessing and curse. I kind of feel lost some days, like, oh, I don't know what I should work on. And that's when I come to Mulan. Look at all that white. 3865 white. It's, I don't have a problem with how my stitches are laying so much as it's boring. More boring than stitching blue, even navy blue. I really, she's shaping up. My goal is to get a page finished. I started pulling back some of those part threads and stitching them in.
She like 6 pages?
9 pages. I'm done with 3 of them, and I'm pretty close to a 4th page finish. So this is how I have stored my flosses for all of my hates. My husband, except for my super size, my husband made me labels so that when they are up on my shelf, I can easily grab the right one. And then I have them in numerical order. And I'm a front to back, so front to back. When I show 0 colors in Pattern Keeper, I pull them out. So that's why you see empty spaces. And then this is the color I'm working on, just because I'm not going to keep winding it up. And so I leave that out until I'm done working on that color. So that's why the floss holder was such a big deal for me. Is because I like to keep it unwound. Animal Almanac, that was one that I worked on monthly and using the same colors all the time, but there was not a lot of colors. So anything like that, I actually lay them flat, and I have 1 per hole, sometimes 2 per hole. I just make sure like it's a dark blue with a pink or something like that, so I can easily define the numbers. And then I don't wind this back one. I don't leave a mess, but my one, I'm going to spill that coffee. Colleen's going to yell at me. I just pull off the one. So anyway, that is how I work. That's my working space. And if I'm traveling, I throw scissors in there. That's where my extra skeins of the color. And then my orts, I have done this since I was a little girl. My orts have always gone in the one underneath my scissors. And then what we started with our ort jars, I actually, when I'm done stitching on a project for an extended period of time, I empty it out and throw it in. I think Colleen's going to show you how she stores.
Right. I don't know if I showed this before, but since I have, this is DIY, we did this ourselves. I feel like I showed this before, but it's Velcroed to it. This was
an idea off of Facebook, right?
It was. So we Velcroed it. We could have super glued this or whatever, because I do not take it off or anything.
But we didn't know you would.
Right. But my sister's sticking. So I don't have a cart like her or anything. So I have not a paper bag, just a plastic bag to put my orts. Then I transfer to my ort jar. So I have a pen in here. This is what I use to highlight on my Kindle. Then a highlighter. And then I do have a mess. That's kind of just have them laid out. And the scissors just always go, and I have a bunch of needles. So yeah, that's breaked out.
So it's magnetized because this is a watercolor pencils.
I don't really use it all the time, but okay. So then I have
you can see our Velcros.
Because the way I sit, I have them I have the numbers facing this way. So she has them on their sides, and I do that, and
so, even my daughter doesn't put hers the exact same way.
So I don't have enough, I only have, it's a bag. You had bought this for my birthday when I was 14 or something. So it has 4 containers. I took this one out, so there's only 3 in that bag, but that is holding technically all of them except for the ones in my tub that I never use those colors. So I don't have tubs and whatever you call them.
She doesn't do all the separate containers that I do. She works mainly from this one.
I call it the hub.
The hub. I think that's pretty cool. And yes, she came up with that on her own. So plans for stitching. I'm going to continue stitching Mulan. I found a mistake already on my Cinderella stitch along, so that's probably just gonna be, remember I told
Oh,
you?
you didn't take it out?
I didn't take it out.
Okay.
So I don't know that I'll be stitching that. The rest of my Februarys are done. Oh, I need to pull out my cat with my bookworm cat.
Right.
That is slated for a finish.
That's slated for a finish. That's your Mania
Mother's
May
Day start.
9.
Yeah, my
Right.
May 9th Mania start. So I am going to finish it because it's so close to a finish, and then it's just done ahead of time.
I'll get to that. But I don't know if I showed you this before because I found this. I was like, because I was looking at our pile of finishes. I'm like, I know I finished mine. I put this straight back into its project bag. So that is homegrown melons, and then I have fresh grove lemons, and you're doing garden plums or something. Like it's something kitchen. So yeah, I have that finished. I don't know if I've showed that before.
So that wasn't finished this week, just a while ago.
Right, a while ago. So you're talking about your plans. Here's Goose Girl. That was my May 9th start. What's this big piece of fabric? That's not as close to being done as her cat. So I hope to finish that so we can have, I think that's, are we leading into that?
Yeah, we'll start with our plans. So we have something very special planned. And we haven't seen a video for a while from Craft Addict Kay and her daughter. They are doing well. I did chat with her for a few minutes, so no worries there. But she turned me on to where I needed to go because Colleen came up with a very neat idea. And since it's her idea, I'll let her share it.
Okay, so I wanted to do a mother-daughter stitch along. So is it Jenly? Is that her? Yeah, so for their 24 hours of cross stitch, they both have the same project. The mother's doing it in hand dyed, and it's like, what kinds of fabric? What's the thing about the fabric? Is it a bigger count or something?
Yeah, she does like 8. She does 8 or something like that.
Right. So
and the
it's
daughter
the same
does
project,
linen.
but they're doing some sort of changes in it. But
and one uses DMC, one uses the hand dyed floss.
Right. So this is cool. What we're gonna be doing. So I don't have to picture anything.
I will insert the photo here.
Okay. So it is called. We call it Paris Quaker.
That's the name of it.
Okay, it's Paris Quaker. You could put the name of who it's by. It's like Jean someone.
Oh gosh.
I want to say
Jarvet. Yeah.
Okay. So what we're gonna be doing, and it's not huge. It's like it's like 1.5 pages. So I'm going to do like a light pink fabric, and it's a hand dyed fabric. Is that what you said? And are we doing hand dyed floss? It's not DMC.
We're doing hand dyed silk.
Silk. So then
This is where Craft Addict Kay came in.
Right. So she chose silk for you.
Yeah. Oh, silk's for you. Yes,
Silk's
it's
for you.
already shipped.
Right. So I'm gonna stitch with blue. Then she's gonna stitch on a light blue fabric with her pink color hand dye.
So we're doing opposites.
But it'll be neat when it's done.
And it's each of our favorite colors. So it'll be a true mother-daughter project. So I'm stitching with my favorite color floss, her favorite color fabric. Even though she likes darker blue, I can't stitch.
So I'm stitching with the darker blue floss. But we're only gonna stitch this together.
Because, you know, she stitches all the time without me.
Right.
So I don't know if we'll do it maybe a little on 24 hours of cross stitch, but it's gonna be our Sunday project. But we're starting on Mother's Day. That's why the May 9th, we want to try to get it done ahead of time.
Right.
Because all of my Mania starts were not put onto my WhipGo board. So I'm anniversarying them. And I don't know who we were watching. We've watched a couple new people. She said she's anniversarying her projects now. Deborah B. She's another fun one we've been watching. So she was talking about anniversarying her projects. I'm like, we already planned that. We had that planned, I don't know, months ago. So how we're participating in Mania, we really haven't discussed yet.
Right. But I
because I can't start 31 new projects.
Right. I think and I have Goose Girl to be finished on my WhipGo. Like, unlike her, I have my board, and it is most of my Mania projects. So I have at least 11 open slots, I said before, I think. So I do want to, because I have some ideas of when I want to start.
All right. My favorite tools. So you might have seen this last week. I have had this for maybe 15 years. My husband bought this for me along with a bag that at a CrossFit shop. It's actually, I think, meant to be a wallet.
Really?
I don't know. I think this is a checkbook holder. That's for your cash. And you can put your credit cards in here, although it's really thin. I don't know. But I have always used it for cross stitch. It was from the cross stitch shop. And I keep my tools in here. And it's nice. I throw it into whatever bag I need to, and my tools are already together. So on my cart, this just goes in like this. So my tool for the week is my fiber hider. It's hiding. So I'm going to hold up the board just so that you can see. Actually, I'll use Colleen's thing. So that you can actually see what the fiber hider looks like. Yes, mine might be a little tarnished. This is really old. It is my second one. I think I broke one. I bought you one, right? Yep. And I bought my mom years and years ago. And I don't even know if I told you guys. I've had needle minders before needle minders were a thing. I got them at a different cross-stitch shop 15 years ago. I'm a gadget girl. And she said, look, I got these magnets. They'll hold your needles on your project. And they're painted needles.
Right.
Oh, so there's yours.
So mine are hummingbirds. And I don't think that was that from Heaven? No, where'd it go? The Frogger, whatever it's called.
Stitch Fixer.
Stitch Fixer. It came in this, so I store that in this. It's so cute.
So anyway, I had these magnets. They're not fancy at all, but they were coated in blue latex paint so that, you know, the magnet wouldn't leave marks on your project. So I've used needle minders like for practically forever. So how do you use a fiber hider? So, and what is the point of a fiber hider? It's what, 20 bucks now, 15? You know, when I bought mine, they were a lot cheaper. You slide it under your completed stitches, which I just did. And then if you have a small thread, and this is great for when you frogged an area and you don't want to take everything out, but you have the threads loose on the back. And sometimes even if I have a knot that I somehow miss, because I always go back and undo my stitches to take out a knot, but sometimes you miss them. So I will take the edges of the, like the loop part of the knot and pull it back through under and hide it. So you take this under, and then, can you hold the board up so that they have something? No, we're just going to hold the board up. Okay. Just so, no, you hold it. All right. So you run these under your stitches, and then you take the loop, the hook here, and grab the end of whatever you want, pull it into the hook or the loop thing, and you hide it underneath your stitches. So it's a fiber hider. It hides all your threads. Right. And so I've been using this for a really, really long time, and I cannot imagine my life without it.
I find I've been using it. You have anything else?
I'm done.
I've written another poem, but I think it's a little cringy, so I don't want to read it. I'm gonna have her read it.
Oh, so I get to be responsible for the cringy poem.
And I wrote it in like 5 minutes.
My stitchy itch. One day I sat down to stitch, but I just couldn't feel the itch. Should I stitch a new start? Maybe that's what I'll do, for I am not liking this part. Should I pick up a new hobby rather than stitching? I don't know, as my fingers aren't itching. In the meantime, my crosses go by and by, wondering when the next time I will use hand-dyed. Whilst I was stitching, a mosquito named Joe came and bit my toe. There it was, the itch. The tingling was so great, I had to stop my stitch. The itch went up and up until it came to my fingers, where it came in terribly but wonderfully lingers. Then I felt the push to stitch, for it was back, my stitchy itch. I think that was cute. So Alicia loved your last poem. We'll see if she saw this poem, but I think it was cute.
Okay, but you know, the way you read it, that actually sounds like a poem. Like, I kept pausing it when I was reading mine.
I read stories to my kids when they were little.
Right.
I love reading. I love reading. So now that I'm not reading and I'm listening to audiobooks, that's a little difficult for me because I'm so particular, but I'm struggling to actually focus on the page. So the audiobooks are great, and I found some people I really enjoyed listening to.
And you stitch during it.
And I can stitch while I listen. But again, I'm watching Smallville now. All right. So I guess we will say goodbye for today. Happy stitching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.